Hello and welcome along to Ashton Gate Stadium, which was of course the venue for the fundraising dinner back in November for Meningitis Now. And with me I've got Paul Hobbs, who organised the event. Alongside him is Steve Dayman, who's the founding member of the Meningitis Now campaign. And on the far end from me is Micky John Bull, who was the entertainment for the night. Went down an absolute storm, I can tell you. As you can see, the guys here are holding up a big cheque which says that £8,000 was raised by the occasion, which is fantastic. Paul, I'm sure you're very, very proud of yet another fine figure from one of your fundraising events.
Yes, it was a great evening and a huge success. I've, been involved with Steve over many years of events for meningitis, and this again was a great success, and I was privileged to be involved and delighted it been such a success.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's not raining on us here at Ashton Gate today. Steve Dayman is out here. We're on the players' balcony, incidentally, here at the ground. Steve, with your reflections of what was a great night.
Well, absolutely. Thanks to these two guys, it was a brilliant night. Everybody was really generous, and we raised a fantastic amount of money for Meningitis Now, which everyone can rest assured the money will be spent wisely, as always, to create a better understanding of the disease, support families and raise awareness of the signs and symptoms.
And of course that's what motivated you in at the start, because this was the anniversary of the passing of Spencer, your son, wasn't it?
Yes, it was 40 years ago in November that we lost Spencer. He's 14 months old, and within 24 hours from being a happy bouncy little boy, he was completely overwhelmed by meningitis and sepsis, and we lost him. And thanks to Paul over the years, because we were actually the beneficiary of Paul's first fundraising event 28 years ago, and he's been with us all the way since then. And thanks to Paul, we had another successful night on our hands.
Yeah, it was a great night. Let's just move along here to Micky. Micky, thanks for coming down again today to support the event. You had quite a lively audience on the night, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a wonderful night. It was a real big pleasure of me to be involved in such a great event, organised by Paul and Steve, who do a wonderful job for this wonderful charity. And it was a real honour for me to be there.
Well, as I said, you went down a storm. You even sang Paul's song, which we hoped was going to inspire England to win the World Cup, but didn't quite work out.
We didn't quite do it, did we?
So we have to thank Ashton Gate for hosting us here today as well, and for putting on all the facilities on the night. And hopefully we'll be back for another great fundraising event later in the year. In fact, I know we will. I'll have a word with Paul in a minute, but you can now say you've played Ashton Gate Stadium, can't you?
Excellent. Yeah, I should look forward to that.
Rod Stewart, all the Neil Diamond, they've all been here, and Micky John Bull as well.
Excellent.
Right, Paul, just to conclude, as I said, there is another event coming up here for a different charity, and it's going to be on the pitch behind us here, going round the pitch in July. Just tell us a few basic details of that.
Yeah, the event's on the 25th of July for the Aortic Dissection Charitable Trust, a 5k charity walk around the pitch, and that will include the likes of Steve Perryman, the legend who made the most appearances ever for Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm sure a lot of people know Whispering Bob Harris, the old grey whistle test, and there will be cardiovascular surgeons, one or two other names we hope, and this will take place in July. Steve and Bob are both ambassadors for the charity, so obviously I've got to know Steve Perryman over the while, and we're looking forward to this event, which I believe is a first for Ashton Gate Stadium and a first for me of this sort. So,
yeah, and what we should say is that both Steve Perryman and Whispering Bob Harris both suffered from the condition and almost lost their lives, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I mean, they had to be airlifted to hospital, emergencies. In my own case, which obviously was linked to the same, I didn't quite have a dissection, but obviously I had a serious operation that at least they had a chance to plan. But it's all linked under the same condition, and we got a big message to to deliver there, and we're hoping that this event will be, a very successful one and do just that.
I'm sure it will be, and if it's half as successful as this one for Meningitis Now, £8,000, a very tidy sum. Just final word from you, Steve. That is going to be well received by the charity, isn't it?
Absolutely. We rely on charitable donations to continue our vital work, and without people like Paul, yourself, for obviously come here in the evening, so that was really appreciated, and of course Micky as well. So greatly received, and we'll put it to good use.
Good. So thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Ashton Gate, and we look forward to seeing you again in another of Paul's fundraising events in the not too distant future. Thanks very much, and cheerio.